The two plants that you're going to see in this video today have costed me a fraction of what collectors normally pay because they were never grown in a greenhouse. They were grown in a laboratory. Today, I'm taking them straight out of their sterile tissue culture containers for the very first time. And if I make a mistake in the next few minutes, this growing journey could be over before it begins. Let's see if we can turn these tiny lab-grown plants into thriving collector specimens. Let's get to know Exotic Plant Lab in this video today. They are the first supplier of tissue culture plants, well, lab plants grown in packs here in Trinidad. I'm going to start by giving you all a better visual of the TC plants themselves. This is the root system of the Philodendron Patriciae. And the second plant that I'm going to pot up today, or deflask, is the Anthurium Forgetii, and this one is really well rooted. You can see how long those roots are. I'll open up the bags obviously later on to give you all a better look, but let's just go through the setup for now. This is an orchid that I'm going to use as my template to try and recreate for the two plants that are still in the TC bags. And with each purchase, I believe you're going to get one of these little kits that comes with a potting up cup as well as some substrate, and you're going to use the larger cup as a dome to maintain 100% humidity. And here is just a wide view of all the things that I intend to use today. I'm going to go through each one and why next. Off the bat, I was very intimidated by the process. Hence the reason I pulled out everything that was listed on the care guide that was given to me. Well, it's actually published on Exotic Plant Lab's Instagram page. But even though I had that as a guide, I still needed additional tools, and you all definitely need to see the extra things that I had to pull out, and we'll do it step by step as we actually get into the deflasking process. So in preparation to pot up, we're going to need some rooting powder. I got this at Home and Garden Creations Limited. They're located in Aroids, just opposite Aroids Nurseries. And some copper fungicide. I also get that from Home and Garden. Some 75% rubbing alcohol, actually 70%. And my substrate of choice to pot up today is pon. That is available at the Succulent Source TT. They are also located on the same compound as Home and Garden. Even though this was not listed in the care guide, some disposable gloves, I decided to include it because I really don't know what sort of growth hormones are in the tissue culture packs. So the first step in the process was to actually pot the plant up 2 days after receiving it. I'm already late by 1 day, as well as Met Office put out a notice that we're going to be experiencing some extreme heat in Trinidad. But with all that said, I was just so excited to give this process a try and understand what's required to grow TC plants. So if these ones become sacrificial ones, I wasn't too bothered because my goal here is to understand what the process is like. So the next step is to mix my fungicide. Now, what was recommended is to use hydrogen peroxide. I did not have that on hand, so I'm going to use my copper fungicide and I'm going to dilute it. So I used 1 part copper fungicide to 2 parts water, and I'm going to set that aside because we're going to get these plants out of these packs next. By the way, the next plant drop will be when you're actually watching this video, so be sure to follow Exotic Plant Lab. I'll put all the information in the description below. This next step, I think, is the most important because here is where your tissue culture plant runs the risk of dying upon potting up or actually living. So I want to make sure you all have the best view in the house. I'm going to set you up at this angle. Just give me a second to put my gloves back on. And we're off to it. So these plants being grown in the lab are actually rooted in a substance called agar. That contains sugars, nutrients, vitamins, water, and plant hormones. We need to get all of that off of the roots of these plants before we proceed with any sort of potting up. If the roots aren't cleaned off properly, long story short, your plant will die from bacterial and fungal infection. The Philodendron Patriciae on screen right now really is tiny, and this is what to expect from some tissue culture plants. When we move on to the Forgetii, you will see that that one has a much larger root system. It is a generally larger plant, but these plants are very tiny, so a lot of care when handling is definitely recommended. Because I knew this was the most important part of the entire process, I basically messaged the Exotic Plant Lab while I was doing this, and along the way they were guiding me. They were really there. The customer service was exceptional. They did recommend using a toothbrush to clean this off, but I didn't have a sterile one, so I just grabbed a new makeup brush to use. So, I felt a little more confident using that as opposed to a used toothbrush or one that I had in the garden already. Even if I had sterilized it, I feel like, these roots are just so fine. I didn't want to risk it with a toothbrush. So I went in with this makeup brush instead. I guess in time we will see, if this was even effective or if the plant rotted. But at least you understand my trend of thought here with these really, really fine roots. You just have to gently brush off the agar. It is very substantial. So you can't be too gentle and you can't be too harsh at the same time because the roots are so fine. So you just kind of find that in between to get off as much of that agar as possible. These roots will eventually die off and new roots will grow as we pot it up into, I believe the mix for this one that I'm going to use is a mix of stratum and perlite and pond. We'll go through the potting medium in detail coming up, but these roots are nowhere ready for an aroid mix. That'll be too dense at this point. We want to treat them like seedlings. If you've watched any of my Anthurium seedling propagation videos, you will have a clear understanding that, to germinate the seeds, I use moss. In this case, we're going to use a semi-hydro substrate to just get those roots going. And as the root system grows and becomes acclimated, the plant in general becomes acclimated to the environment, then we can move it into an arid mixer. But in terms of these tissue culture plants, the process is a bit different in that these plants haven't hardened off as yet, meaning there's no cuticle or protective barrier over these leaves. They are still very soft to the touch and very delicate. So, I'm really trying to follow the instructions as opposed to my experience growing aroids because this is a whole new ball game. So we're gonna play it safe and follow the rules at this point, and we'll see how things go eventually. But for now, I'm trying to get these chunks of agar that I'm hoping you'll be able to see a lot clearer here with the Anthurium forgetii off, and we're going to repeat the same process that we did with the Philodendron Patriciae with this one now. So these plants being grown in a lab, the goal is to transition them now into the real world. So imagine this, these plants being grown in the lab, they have no idea about airflow, what dry air is, sunlight, evaporation. So, they're now going to move into the elements, I would say. So, we're just trying to buffer them at this point as they make their transition into our homes. Having understood that, if you feel as though this is too much of a risk for you, I think it's worth noting that Exotic Plant Lab, they offer this as an additional service. So if you don't want to go through this process, you can just have them do it for you. The last quote I got, and this could change, it was $20 to do it. The next step after getting all the agar off, and I think I did a fair enough job at getting it off of the Forgetii, you can see how much bigger the root system is for the Anthurium as opposed to the Philodendron. Now, for Philodendron Patriciae, I had this in my collection before. The roots in general are a lot finer than Anthurium roots, so I'm not too bothered by that root system looking microscopic. To me, it's in keeping with what the ones I have in my collection or had in my collection look like. So the next thing I'm going to do is get both of them into my diluted fungicide. Now, I spray these on my plants in general, on the foliage as well as the roots. So the philodendron is going to get submerged, that you'll see here. And the anthurium, just the roots alone, are going to get submerged. So in the follow-up video to this, we will really see, the effects of doing this and if it worked, if it didn't work. So make sure and subscribe. So it was recommended that they stay in the diluted fungicide for at least a minute and then set aside to be dipped in rooting powder. Now, I initially toggled with the idea of dusting the rooting powder on, which is what, the instructions state to do on the bottle. But on the instructions or the care guide, they they had it pictured as a liquid, and I didn't see any rooting liquid available, so I decided to just make a mixture by putting some rooting powder in water and just mixing it like this so that I could dunk the plants like I did with the fungicide. So having made this mixture, I'm just going to go ahead and dunk both plants in, making sure that the roots get fully submerged, and then we're going to set it aside to dry completely. I think I'm going to have to move this setup into the garage where the lighting is better because I find the footage is looking a bit dim now. I apologize for that. I'm going to move everything over shortly. Let me just take 1 minute to show you guys the substrate that I'll be potting up the Philodendron Patriciae in. That'll be the one that's provided by Exotic Plant Lab that I mentioned before. It's a mixture of stratum and pond and perlite, but my Anthurium Forgetii, I'll be making my own substrate using pond from the succulent source and perlite that you'll see coming up. This is the stratum mix that we're going to use for the Patriciae. And here is the orchid that I mentioned earlier that I'm using as my template to get everything set up to look like. If you want plants that are well acclimated and already on their way and pushing growth and stuff, that is also available at Exotic Plant Lab. Here's an example of what I'm talking about. This is Monstera Devil Monster that's pushing growth and variegation. Here's another philodendron that is rooting away nicely, as well as this philodendron Moonlight that is just ready to go if you want to skip all this. And back to the deflasking. This is what stratum looks like. It's currently mixed with pon and perlite. It's available at the succulent source. Well, she's sold out right now, so make sure and follow her on Instagram to find out when it's restocked. But this is the substrate that I'm going to use that was provided to me by Exotic Plant Lab that I'm going to use for the Philodendron Patriciae. I'm trying to gauge how deep to put it into this shot glass, and I'm thinking halfway should do the trick. So I'm just going to gently add it in to see, how things are lining up and just, all the things that I need to gauge when potting this little one up. I find the leaves are getting squashed in there, so I'm in two minds about if to go lower or what. I decided to backfill, but I feel like too much of the stem and roots are exposed, so I'm just going to do this one over. I'd love to know down in the comments if this is something you'd be game for. Now, in my opinion, I can't say for you if this is beginner friendly or what. To me, this is all subjective in terms of what your willingness is to handle plants this small. But let's weigh the options out, right? It requires a little more effort, definitely. It's higher initial risk, definitely. You have to acclimate for sure, but you have access now to unicorn plants. It's inexpensive. These are rare plants that you thought that you'd never have access to are now available. And to me, it's super exciting. So you gauge, you let me know in the comments if this is something you're willing to do. Me personally, I think I'm going to pay for the deflasking service, and I'll also check out the offering in terms of what they have acclimated and already growing and already, just ready for Trinidad in general. I think I don't mind paying the extra price for that. But you let me know what you think. Another thing to consider, and just by the way, what I'm doing on screen is just watering this with 5 mLs of water. That's what was recommended. You will see a change in the color of the substrate becoming a little darker. You don't want to flood this because, like, again, the humidity is what is going to hydrate this plant. It doesn't need a lot of moisture. It doesn't need to be sitting in water either. That will rot the plant. Remember, this is going to go in dome, so the humidity is going to do all the work for us. But anyway, what I think is worth considering too in terms of the level of effort that you're willing to put out for something like this is in no time, other plant companies are going to jump on the bandwagon, the tissue culture bandwagon, and make plants available in packs. Or if you travel and you go to plant shows, knowing a method like this really puts you at an advantage to just get any plant that you want. Now, the sky is the limit. And the nice thing is you have this video to refer to, and in the case of Exotic Plant Lab, they assist along the way. So let's move on to the next lab plant that I'm going to wing. I'm going to use the succulent source pon mixture, and it was recommended by Exotic Plant Lab to mix this in a 70 to 30% ratio, 30% pon, 70% perlite to use in this first instance. Using a mix like this simply means that your plant has a less chance of rotting, which means it gives you a higher success rate. So I'm simply going to repeat the process here, but conditions are going to be slightly different because this one I'm just using a plastic cup and I'm going to place it in the end in my propagation dome without a lid. So it's not going to be self-sustainable. It has to go into my prop box because I simply just don't have a cover for it. And now that our two little lab-grown plants have officially begun their new lives outside of the lab, well, this one on the way, now comes the hard part, not for me, but for them. Over the next few weeks, these plants have to adapt to an entirely different world. They'll experience moving air for the first time, fluctuating humidity, natural light, and they'll need to develop a completely new root system that's capable of growing in a pot instead of nutrient-rich agar. This stage is called acclimatization, and it's where many tissue culture plants succeed or fail. But that's exactly why I wanted to document this journey from day one. Whether everything goes perfectly or I run into challenges along the way, you'll get to see the real process, not just the highlights. What excites me even more is what tissue culture represents for the future of our hobby here in Trinidad. For years, rare plants have often been expensive, difficult to import, or simply unavailable. Tissue culture has the potential to change that. And here's the final step. Both plants are in dome now, so all we have to do is monitor over the next few weeks. I feel fairly confident having gone through the process as opposed to feeling intimidated in the beginning, and I think my experience growing anthuriums from seedlings can be attributed to that, and I'll show you all how those are progressing now. But I'm really excited to see where this leads, not only for these two plants, but for our local plant community as a whole. A huge thank you again to Exotic Plant Lab for sponsoring this video and trusting me to share their experience, well, this experience with all of y'all. If you're interested in trying tissue culture plants for yourself, definitely check out what they currently have available. By the time you're seeing this video, a new drop will already be here. Now I'm eager to hear from y'all. Having watched this whole process, would you try this on your own? Leave your thoughts in the comments below because I'd love to hear them. If you'd like to follow the progress of these two little lab plants, I'll be sharing regular updates over the coming months so we can see exactly how they develop. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.